I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't saying. I ain't telling you who it is. But anyway, I knew I was in deep shit. I said, oh Lord God. Now this man had a very good job. He was in law enforcement as well. and so I told this fella, I said, man, look, I ain't supposed to be here to start with. And I said, now I got to take his truck home with a hole in the side of it. I said, you coming with me? He said, I come with you. I said, you damn right you coming with me. So I get up there, let me tell you something. That was one of the longest rides of my life right there. And as I'm pulling up the driveway, this thing again. Shit. Pull up there. They said, wait, man. I said, rock ready. Did I tell you not to go to rock ready? I said, yes, sir. He said, you know, he was chewing my ass. I said, well, something I got to tell you. I said, well, let me show you. So as this said person is coming up the driveway, I have to take him around there and show him this hole in the side of Daddy's truck. Let me explain something to you. Dude wasn't happy. Dude was pissed the hell off. Because I went where I wasn't supposed to, and I'm bringing his truck home with a bullet hole in it. Not just a bullet hole, I mean a gaping ass bullet hole through the side of it. You know, so here comes this fella, Daddy chews his ass, and, you know, I'll pay for it. I know damn well you're going to pay for it. You know, you go in the house, I get in the house, then he comes in after me, and he said, just don't. He says, go to the room, I don't even want to talk to you. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's about the worst thing dude seems to have done to me. I just think he'd beat my ass. It was me disappoint my daddy, and that's what I did. And I'm getting ready to suffer the consequences because of it. Well, Daddy didn't let me drive his truck for a while. But that was, you know, he finally forgave me. But anyway, to get on a little bit more, I come home one weekend from Nashville. I went to Nashville Music School, LOS10, and I was dating my first wife at the time. And she wanted to go see Santa Claus. The original Santa Claus was Tallheimer Santa Claus. You know what I'm talking about? So I said, look, here's the deal. I'm in school, I want to hunt till 12, and we get done hunting, we'll go see Santa Claus. I said, I ain't worried about the outside of the truck getting muddy, let's not get no mud inside, we gotta put our clothes and shit in. She said, okay. So apparently I was too long on the disc thing. Horn gets blown. And I'm getting pissed. I finally walk back the truck, I'm smoking. I get up there. She has a set of low-top LL Bean shoes on, and then stepped out in cake red mud and got back in and did a feet. She would get back out. The whole floorboard had 1.5 inches of red mud. I'm pissed. My truck, I want to put mud in there, I'll put mud in there. I said, you getting it up? She said, no, I ain't. I said, I promise you getting it up. You know, I'm 19, I got an attitude showing up by now. She said, I ain't getting it. I said, I promise. I said, if you don't get it up, I'm going to take your ass home, we ain't going to see something. So, we get back there to the house, I load all the shit in the truck. I get about halfway down the driveway, and I am so mad. I just stopped the truck. I said, clean the mud out of the truck now. She ain't doing it. I said, bad enough. I reached over in her bag and grabbed a sweater. Light gray and white. I put it right in her closet. I started dragging mud out of her sweater. Red mud. She is going ballistic. She said, you gonna buy me another sweater? I said, I bought that bitch. I said, you exactly right. You know, I just had a bad attitude about stuff like that, you know, and I don't do good sometimes. Man? Yes, I was before I ain't a man, but I did have a couple classes. Didn't go good, they told me I couldn't get them. ready to get right here, man. So I'm 19, I'm in Nashville. I had two buddies I've become great friends with, Mark and Matt. Now Matt is legally blind. We'd have to put, y'all remember the little projector in school, they put shit up on it and show up on the board? So we had one of them for Matt, so the letters would be about that tall. You know, he's from Sturgis, Kentucky. And so we always played poker in my apartment on Thursday night. So we up there, we didn't get drunk. Everybody left except me and Mark and Matt. Max says, I want to drive. Mark and I looked at each other. Mark got a great old big pole jacked up off the ground, straight shift. I said, hell, let's drive. So we go out and get in Mark's truck, great old big ass tires on it, man. So we get in there, we tell him, Mac, when they hit the brake, hit the gas, you know, we get on down the hill down there to the road, and we done turned on the main road now. And we get, I said, Matt, can you see the stoplight? He said, I see something. So we telling Matt when to stop. So we make it, you know, we drive around a couple miles going back up at the house. Well, I live in 7 apartments on top of a hill, and there's apartments all the way down. And it's crossovers. And there's a road going in, there's a road going out, and we got your little median through that. Well, the next morning when we got up to go to school, it looked like a rototiller had gone down that damn, through that median. Max drunk ass then got over in them damn flowers and rooted them bitches up. Let me tell you something. Not only did we do it going out, apparently we did it coming back. It was all points bulletin looking for whoever done that, I promise you. I mean, there was notes on apartment doors, any information. I said, if they find out, I kicked out of here and I'm gonna have to tell my mama and it ain't gonna be good. So, anyway, oh man. So we at Long John Silver's one day eating lunch. We sat down and 2 old cows walked in the door there. One of them had a low-cut shirt on. They were nice. I ain't gonna lie. And me and Mark talking about it. Max says, I can't see them out loud. So, little girl looked, you know, not little girl, I mean, hell, we was 19, she was probably mid-20. She made a round up. She come out there with food. I see her coming. I said, oh, here we go. She come up to the table, and Matt was turned talking to Mark. She saw the tray down there. About the time Matt turned around, she took her hand. She said, can you see them now? And I said, I see them, and not only do I see them, I feel them in their eyes. This is the kind of friends I got. I mean, you know, yes, baby. Oh, I got time. What time you got? I don't want sugar. I ain't got enough money. It's 9. All right, hold on. Let me tell you. All right, this is good. This is a story on me. This is stories on me now. All the rest of them too. So, Kelly and I, a couple of years ago, I decided that I needed to take Kelly on a vacation with just us. So I took Kelly and we went to Costa Rica. One of the best vacations we've ever had. So we are there, and you know, we have a good time, and we at the dinner table. I mean, at the dinner table. And these 2 ladies come in. Then look, I ain't picking on nobody, so don't nobody get offended. This is comedy. I was there. If you laugh at it, you go to hell, that's on you. It's really not me. I'm just telling you the situation that I get put in. So here come these 2 ladies in. And awesome. When I say they was big, they was big. I mean, I'm old.
That's good.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not mad about it. But they had on bodysuits. It's shame. I don't know what the hell you do there. It looked like a get-up too. And I looked at Kelly. I said, Kelly, you know, and let me tell you, Kelly don't play my shenanigans. So these two days sitting there, you know what they order to drink? Ready? Skinny ball. I see you. That's it. You just did that. You know. So, you know where this is going. So, I don't know, you know, we was at an all-inclusive resort, and when you go to those, they give you a menu. And there's probably 3 or 4 appetizers, 3 or 4 main entrees, 3 or 4 desserts. And you can order anything you want. You can get as many of them as you want. Each one of these ladies ordered one of everything that was on the menu. I said, oh, Jesus. I said, where you going? I said, if you fart, you're going to blow the shoes off because ain't nowhere for all that to go. And my wife is telling me the whole time, shut up. And she often does. She gives me a lot of rope.